Today is just like any other day when all of a sudden you get a text notification, you hear a PSA over the radio, or an announcement over the intercom at your local store. You are under a tornado warning. Tornado warnings can happen any time of the day, either in the morning, the middle of the day, or in the middle of the night. The real question is, what do you do in a situation like this?
Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below what you think of this video. Later.
What's going on, my storm chasing family? In today's video we are going to discuss 3 very important things to do if you are stuck in a tornado warning at home, if you are out on the road, or if you are out in public during a tornado warning. And the first and foremost is what to do in a tornado warning if you are at home. Let's get it going. Alrighty, first and foremost, before even getting put under a tornado warning, the best thing to do is to have a tornado safety plan in place. That just basically consists of sitting the entire family down and discussing where your safest place in the entire house is, and having the supplies in that safe spot just in case if your house does get hit by a tornado. And the supplies that I highly recommend having in your safe spot consist of having a NOAA weather radio, so that way you can tell when the tornado warning has passed or if it's already expired, a helmet to always keep your head protected from flying debris or if debris falls on your head. The next thing I highly recommend is a change of clothes. Not all tornadoes happen during the daytime, sometimes they happen at nighttime, and if you're like me, I wear pajamas. So if a tornado was to hit my house, I would need a change of clothes. And that's not to say that it's always raining after a tornado, so you're going to be soaking wet. So change of clothes I would highly recommend. The next thing is protective footwear. If your house was hit by a tornado, of course, you're going to have debris all over the ground, nails, screws, and small pieces of glass of that nature. So protecting your feet is very, very important. So I would highly recommend having some sort of tennis shoes, boots, work boots, what are those things? Rain boots, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, something just to protect your feet. Let's just go with that. And last and foremost, the last thing I would recommend is having a flashlight. If a tornado is in your area, it generally knocks out the power, so you're going to be in the dark. If it's at nighttime, of course, flashlight is always going to come in handy. And that's not to say if a tornado hits your house, you're going to need some sort of way to get the attention of the emergency responders if so happens you're trapped. Also, if you have some sort of whistle, I would kind of recommend that, but hopefully you have a safe enough location in your home that it's protected all the way around and you'll be able to escape. But if not, and if you do get trapped, a flashlight and a whistle will help emergency responders know exactly where you are, or if your neighbors come to check on you, that's always a good way to let them know, hey, I'm right here, and hopefully they'll be able to get you out uninjured. So that's as far as my safety plan. Now let's go over where is your safest spot to be in your house if you're under a tornado warning at home. Alrighty, so the safest places to be in a tornado warning at your house, I would highly recommend if you had a basement, of course that would be ideal. If you have a tornado shelter outside, those are the best places. Anything underground is most ideal for a tornado. But if you do not have a basement or a tornado shelter outside, if any kind of hallway, a closet, a bathroom, anything that is in the centermost part of your house is the best places to be. You're basically just wanting to provide as many walls as possible in between yourself and that tornado. That is the best places to be as far as safe spots. At my mom's house, we have this long hallway, and of course we always have a spare mattress that we use to cover ourselves in case if anything was to fall on us, it would protect us. And this hallway is the centermost part of our house. We're basically just wanting to have as many walls in between ourselves and the tornado. There's no open windows, no outside walls to expose ourselves to the tornado. And of course we always have our our supplies in our little closet that we have right across from us that has our flashlight and our helmet in that we need. Alright, so interesting enough, a story I heard a couple of years ago of an 18-year-old named Daniel Parks who lived southwest of Sulphur, Oklahoma, who survived an EF3 tornado by hugging a toilet. Yeah, I said it, a toilet. But thankfully enough, he listened to the advice of the National Weather Service in seeking shelter in the centermost place in his home, which just so happened to be where the bathroom was and that toilet. Thankfully, he was not injured in that tornado, but unfortunately, his entire family's home was completely destroyed except for that centermost part of his house. That just goes to show you, you want to put as many walls as possible in between yourself and that tornado. And just so happened that that toilet was the best place for him. And thankfully enough, he listened to the advice of professionals. And thankfully enough, he survived that tornado without even a scratch, which is absolutely remarkable. Alrighty, so in conclusion, the best place that you want to be is definitely going to be your basement or a tornado shelter. But if you do not have those, the most ideal spot is the centermost part of your house. Anything that could put as many walls in between yourself and that tornado. Anyway, guys, the next part that we're going to discuss is what you should do if you're not at home and a tornado warning happens to come across your radio and you just happen to be out on the road. Let's get into it. Alright, in this next part, what we're going to talk about is what do you do if you're driving down the road and the next thing you know, a tornado warning comes across the radio. Let's find out what we should do if you're driving down the road and a tornado warning comes across the radio. I'm sure some of y'all have heard hiding under an overpass is what some people would recommend, but I would not recommend hiding an overpass. Not only is that not a whole lot of space to really hide, but this almost acts like a wind tunnel for a tornado to really increase the wind speed of the actual tornado itself. And two, not only that, you're also putting your vehicle in really an unsafe position where you're blocking or impeding traffic. That's one big thing that I always say is literally, if you look at it, if you have multiple vehicles hiding underneath an overpass, that's one vehicle that's literally blocking up most of this area right here. But a lot of people will literally park in the middle of the roadway in order to, you know, seek shelter. And of course, yeah, this is a fairly big overpass, and of course there's two sections of them, but like I said, this acts as a wind tunnel almost for higher winds to really push and blow, exceeding the wind speeds of the actual tornado itself. So with that being said, my thoughts of it, I would not recommend it. And it is cold outside and the light's blurry, so I'm gonna get back in here and go over this whole part all over again. As I'm sure some of y'all are probably thinking, hiding under an overpass is probably something that should be recommended, but I do not recommend hiding under a overpass because of two main reasons. Seeking shelter under a highway overpass is to become a stationary target for flying debris. There is a substantial risk of being blown out and carried by tornado winds. You know, safety in such a location is almost an illusion, to be honest with you. Additionally, crowding under an overpass can block traffic and prevent important emergency vehicles from aiding affected areas, be it a straight ahead or, you know, just anywhere in general. It also cuts off potential escape routes from the tornado because not everybody is wanting to seek shelter from a tornado. Some people are trying to either outrun it or just to escape it, being just driving down the road. And if your vehicle is caught under an overpass, not only are you blocking the traffic, but if an 18-wheeler is trucking along doing 60, 75 miles an hour, your vehicle can cause a additional hazard for them. But as some of y'all have seen probably in a lot of Storm Chaser videos, that there has been people that literally park in the middle of the interstate or just under regular roads, such as this one that I'm at right now, that you know, impedes traffic and could really affect, you know, not to recommend is hiding under an overpass. Now, if it's just a hail core to protect your vehicle, I have been guilty of it for sure. I hide under there because I don't want my baby to get hurt. My truck means everything to me. But if I know genuinely that it's just a hail core, yes, I will protect my vehicle and hide under an overpass. But if it is a tornado warning, I will continue on trucking and trying to escape as best as, or as fast as I can. As I'm sure some of you have seen in our last video with Mark and Matt, that in Oklahoma, we were trying to outrun that tornado, which not recommended, but I knew generally how fast the tornado was moving and knew we could safely get away from it without causing too much of a risk to ourselves or our safety. So those are my tips as far as what to do under a tornado warning if you're out on the road. In this next part, we're going to discuss where do you go if you are out in public and a tornado warning gets issued and you hear the announcement over the PA system, or if you also get the notification.
Yeah, so this next part, I really wanted to get some footage in our local mall, but apparently they have a real strict no recording policy, so it looks like we're just going to have to go back to doing what we usually do, going back to our old reliable and recording some stuff in our truck. Sorry about that, guys.
I didn't record in the mall anyway. Alrighty, for my final part of this series of what to do in a tornado warning, if you are out in public, this one's going to be real short and simple. If you are at the mall, if you are at a grocery store, if you are at a gas station, always listen to the employees, because usually they already have a policy in place for a tornado warning. They already know exactly where to direct the customers to, or they already know exactly what to do during a tornado warning. Alright, so that's the first of the series of educational videos for me as far as severe weather awareness. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully you've learned something new. If you haven't, please be sure to comment down below stuff that I may have missed or overlooked. Alrighty, my storm chasing family, that is it for this video. Hopefully you've learned some extra information about what to do under a tornado warning if you are at home, if you're out on the road, or if you get caught stuck out in public. A little bit more information for you, the more the merrier, is all I always say. And that's just my safety tips as far as what I would recommend to do. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, turn on those notifications if you haven't already, and I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all take care.